Understanding Jose Mourinho's treble-winning Inter Milan tactics. In the 2009-10 season, Jose Mourinho took Inter Milan to historical glory, becoming the only side in Italian club football in history to have won the treble. It's key to know that going into this season, Jose Mourinho let go of Luis Figo, Hernan Crespo, Leonardo Bonucci, Patrick Vieira, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He brought in Ricardo Quaresma, Thiago Motta, Diego Milito, Lucio, Pandev, Wesley Sneijder and Samuel Eto'o. Jose set up Inter in the majority of their league games using a 4-1-2-1-2 diamond or a 4-4-2 diamond. Jose utilised a simple build-out structure but ensured that his centre-backs would not take too many risks on the ball. The ball progression and the link in the thirds was due to the brilliance of Cambiasso and Thiago Motta, who would interchange around the midfield third to get on the ball in deeper areas. Stankovic, a converted attacking midfielder who was responsible for being effective in both boxes and arriving late for third man runs and tracking runners through the midfield. Wesley Sneijder was given some free roam and was allowed to drift into different pockets and become the team's main creative outlet, but he was very much capable of dropping into the midfield to create a 4-v-3 midfield overload if Inter Milan's midfield was being man-marked. Although Zanetti could get forward, he was instructed to maintain a strong team shape. In transition, the passing range of Thiago Motta and Cambiasso, mixed in with the intelligent movement, directness and acceleration of both Maicon and Eto'o, began most of their transitions. One of the reasons the counter-attack was so dangerous was because of Diego Milito's and Samuel Eto'o's chemistry and movement, as Samuel Eto'o would roam in between the lines but also could drift out wide, whilst Milito stayed mostly central but could do pretty much anything you asked him to, regardless if his back was to goal. For example, this goal against Milan, where Eto'o drags the marker out of position, Motta invades the space with a nice direct run, Milito with a perfectly weighted pass, and then finished beautifully by Thiago Motta. If possible, Inter would look to feed the ball directly into Sneijder, who was more than able to carry the ball at incredible speeds and force the opposition lines backwards, as Diego Milito and Samuel Eto'o would look to stretch the defenders. 16 of Inter Milan's 75 goals in the league campaign came from direct counter-attacks, 8 more goals scored on counters than anyone else in the division, showing just how much they relied on it. Maicon this season was vital to this Inter team. Ridiculous pace, wicked ball striking when it comes to crossing and finishing. Most of their wide attacks started on the right hand side, through his runs up and down the flanks. In UCL play, the switch to a 4-2-3-1 in the big games was massive when it came to matchday instructions. The shift from the 4-4-2 diamonds to 4-2-3-1 in Europe was so that Inter Milan could have more defensive width and not get stretched in the Champions League when they were using a narrow and compact 4-4-2 diamond. Pandev was often used as a left-side alternative and was one of the main reasons Inter were able to beat Pep Guardiola's Barcelona over the two legs in the Champions League. Because wide formations were favoured in the UCL, unlike Italy, the 4-2-3-1 drastically helped Inter's defensive shape, meaning the wingers and the fullbacks could go 2v2 against the opposition's winger and fullback to restrict the opposition, creating overloads on their side. And this is where Jose's man management really came through. He made the likes of Eto'o and Pandev, who were converted strikers, play as defensive wingers and sacrifice their own personal game for the sake of the team's success and system. Without this mentality and personality, systems that are so physically demanding on individuals would not work most of the time, which is something that Jose Mourinho has always preached about his Manchester United tenure. The wide players did not work hard enough for the team back then, unlike Pandev and Eto'o, and that is something that is still a problem at United today. Make of Jose what you will, but what he achieved in that season with Inter Milan is one of the greatest achievements in recent European football history.